So tell us about a time when a product strategy or launch did not go well.
Sure. And I'm gonna do my best to like simplify because I really like simple concepts. I'm a simple person. I say this all the time. I'm never gonna be the smartest person in the room, and I actually don't enjoy being the smartest person in the room.
I'm into that.
I want like asking dumb questions. I was literally on a client call yesterday, and everybody else on there was way more in it with governance than I was. And I go, hey guys, I'm gonna ask the dumb question. What is this? And then they started explaining it, and my head of compliance literally sent me a Slack message. He's like, thanks for asking that, because like that opened up and like 6 other questions that I didn't had. And I was like, cool. I just like didn't know what you guys were talking about. I was like just trying to follow. But what I will say is, generally speaking, when I've had products that have not been successful, it's because I've put the cart before the horse. And now let me unpack what I mean by that. Is generally it's that I have not done enough research to understand the problem and the consumer well enough and what their true need is, understanding the difference between a problem that is a pain and needs a painkiller versus a problem that needs a vitamin.
Ooh, okay. Killer versus vitamin.
Painkiller versus vitamin is really, really important, right? Because everybody, if you're in pain, will take a painkiller. Everybody should take vitamins. Does everybody take vitamins? No, they don't, right? So you want to chase painkillers if you can. And then if you have done those couple things, let's say you have done your research, the other place that I've gotten in trouble, and this has been like decade plus of like learning all these things and a lot of trial and error, is that we started coding before we really understood what the right solution needed to be to solve the problem the way the customer wanted it solved. And so sometimes that's because pressures from executives or leaders in companies are saying, hey, we need this out. Hey, we have this idea. Hey, we have the budget, start using the budget, start building. Or sometimes it's because you feel like you have enough information and so you're just like, oh, we have enough information, we know what we need to do. So one of the big things that I tell aspiring product managers or young product managers that I mentor is that like, chase the value and make sure you really, really understand the value in all facets of that. And what I mean by that is like, what is the problem? If you really understand the problem, then you'll understand what the value is, understand what the ideal solution is for that customer. And then nobody can build an ideal solution because ideal solutions do not exist. So then how are you, go out and test different designs, different iterations of the product without writing any code, like do this in the leanest. I'll give some examples of like ways I've done that in the past. Go test that in the market with people that you hope to be real customers as frequently and as often as you can before you start coding, ideally. And even when you start coding, continue to do those testing. That testing and iterative process in the market and learning from the market is the most important thing. This took me a long time to get to this place because when I was younger, a very typical young product manager where I thought I knew everything and I was kind of alpha type, and that is like the worst place to be. And life will beat you down and tell you that is not the right way to do that. And now I have a saying, and I will say this to anybody. I say this to executives when I come in and do consulting for them. I've said this in the past as like head of product, talking to founders or to board members. They will give me opinion like, hey, we should go build this or we should go build this. And I'll ask them questions about like, hey, what's the customer? What's their problem? What are we trying to address? Like, it's a cool idea. I'm not saying it's not a cool idea, but like, what are we trying to address? And they may or may not have that information. And at the end of the day, if they keep pushing on it, I go, like, I like it. We will keep that in our backlog. But at the end of the day, your opinion doesn't matter. My opinion does not matter. The people that buy your product, your service, they're the opinions that matter.
Right.
And if you're not learning from them, then you're not really learning about your problem